This is my bad side, so I must really love you.
You do really love me?
It's like, hi, we're very close to have this conversation right now. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are having another Girl Talks episode, and I've brought on my lovely friend Jen Iscare to talk about what to do if you are ever cheated on. So this channel is focused on not just physical health, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual health. So today we're going to be covering this super important topic so that you can feel empowered and happy and free in your own life, even if this happens to you, which is not good. So you guys already know I posted a little bit about this on my Instagram, that I went through an experience that was very traumatic in finding out that I was cheated on multiple times in a row. And you have also been through that experience. So tell the people out there, because this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. So what is it? How can you get through this? How can you heal? How can you move on and not just like crumple into a ball? Because I know for me it was extremely traumatic.
Yeah, and it really is. And the thing that we're taught is take the high road. There's shame around coming out and speaking your story, and you know, just move forward, move through. And that's like, it's yes, and there's a whole healing process that has to come with that. And I think we forget about that. And it's okay to share your story with whoever you feel the need to share with, and don't let anyone make you feel bad about that. I think that's like the main thing. And for me, I came forward in a very public way about it because I was wanting to push the norm so much. I was wanting to say, but what is the high road? Why are we shamed for coming forward and speaking our truth? Like, people can choose to believe whatever they want, but this is an experience that happened to me and for me. And these are the lessons that I'm learning outside of it.
So how do you find the balance between speaking your truth and not getting stuck? Because I know when I was there, I started to notice there's a fine line between speaking what was real for me and what I was going through, and becoming a victim and going into this like spiral where I couldn't get out of it. So how do you notice that first? And then if you notice yourself going down a spiral or a victim path, how do you get yourself back onto a healthy track?
That's a really fine line, I think, to have to play with.
Every day is different, too.
Every day is different, and I think it's becoming aware of it and having the people that are going to hold you accountable to that awareness. Because here's the other thing. It's like, you know, it's so easy for me to get sidetracked and be like, but you don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand. And when I go down that road, I'm feeding into his energy. I'm feeding into wanting to make myself right, wanting to make the situation right, but that's not actually healing to me. So when I start going down a path that's focusing too much on his lies, his manipulation, his thing, what happened to me, then I know I'm falling into victim. But if I come into a place of, okay, how can I take responsibility? How can I continue to look at the mirror that I attracted in? How can I continue to say, what am I going to change that isn't going to draw this in next time? And when I go down that path, it's speaking my truth in a really real way for me, and helping to get just clarity and clear up space within myself so that I can start to move forward.
What if someone doesn't have a support system, man or woman, or, you know, this isn't about gender, it's more about like if your partner, whoever that is, what if you don't have a support? You find out that they've been unfaithful, but you don't have friends or family that will support you through that, then what do you do?
We all have someone. I think we all have someone. And if you're in like a space where you completely are like, no, I have no family around me, could you call? And could you call friends? Like, I've had people who are supporting me from Hawaii. You know, they're not like here with me. I'm in California. It's quite far distance, but they're still opening up space and time and healing for me to be able to work with them. Even coaches. I've worked with, you know, Krista Petty, and I had a phone conversation with her. And she's very much a somatic therapist, so just finding where it was like stuck within my body was extremely healing, just having a phone conversation with her. So there's so many ways that we can start to get support. We just have to ask for the right kind of support.
And I would say too, like you and I know this very well because we work and live in the online world. We live in the internet. like that. But we're like in the internet space and we're running online communities and things like that. So that's always an option for you, as well as traditional therapy. Like I feel like you really have to find something that works for you. And at the end of the day, the thing that worked for me the most beyond all of that was, even if you don't feel like anyone around you is getting it, like they're just not, for whatever reason you're not connecting with them, or you're not able to deliver the truth, instead of going into that prove it energy, like, well, no, but you don't understand, blah, 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 he did blah, blah, blah. Instead of doing that, what I noticed that was most effective for me when I was in this situation was to go to God. I literally had to give it to God, because I could not hold it myself. Because you actually helped. I had a neck injury because I was holding it in and trying to, process it all, and just the sheer trauma of it all emotionally was so much that my neck froze up. And you were the one that...
It becomes physical.
It does. So let's talk a little bit about that, because you are a doctor of physical therapy. DocGenFit on Instagram, if you're not following her already. Great tips. So let's talk about that. How do emotions affect our physical experience?
Oh my God. I mean, even the weight of what we say to ourselves, our brain it goes into protective mode for your body. So anything that you say to yourself, it becomes manifested in our body. And it sounds crazy and it sounds weird. And one way that I like people to just test it out is the exercise that we've done, which is, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to, like, going through your day and saying all the have tos, like, feel how that feels in your body, because it feels super heavy. And then if you go through, okay, I get to do this, I am blessed to do this, I'm grateful to do this, because, like, I'm grateful to pick up dog poop because I have an adorable dog that gets to love on me, and like, if we start looking at it that way, all of a sudden, like, I've done this exercise with people, and it just, they lift. They're all of a sudden out of this heavy, constricted feeling. So that's one quick, easy way just to see how it manifests within your body based on your words. But also, when I'm working with clients, it's, okay, what are you saying that the symptom is? My back is breaking. It feels like I'm locked up. It feels like, and it's like, okay, you're not breaking and nothing's exploding, like these are real things that people say, because when we tell our mind that something is like broken and exploding and like shattering inside you, imagine what you're telling yourself. Your body is then, oh my God, I need to go really tight, I need to protect itself. It goes into this guarding mechanism, which is natural, and we need that for our body, so it's beautiful. So we can thank it for, like, okay, thank you for protecting me, and I'm okay. So going back into just acknowledging, like, if your body starts to feel tense and tight, it's a mechanism that it's trying to protect you, because some way, somehow, you're going into this fear-based mindset, and you're telling your body it needs to go into, like, almost spasms. And that's where a lot of back spasms even can come from. Or people who have painful sex, and it's like they can't get the insertion and it's pain. A lot of that is spasm, because we've built up this mindset of it's gonna hurt, or this is bad, or this is wrong. Or very religious people, if you have sex early, like, you can start getting spasms down there and have painful sex. So it's like the mind and the body is so connected, and it's just becoming aware of that first, seeing where that can come from, and then how do I take, like, compassion for that, acknowledge it, breathe, and try to release it.
Release it.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to be going there today, but it's true. I mean, there's a whole realm to the physical experience, especially if you're in partnership with people. There's like so many layers of this, and
so many layers. It's hard to just like explain it all in video. People would be like, "Well, what do I do about it?"
Well, now I don't even know. Am I a human or a spirit being? I don't. So okay. So dialing back, what I heard you say is, and I want to bring this to the audience's attention, because this might be the first time you've ever heard this, but you and I have been in the fitness and health industry for a long time. And what I just heard you say is something that's really important that a lot of people don't understand, which is that your subconscious mind, which is actually what's responsible in operating. So like, take this analogy, for example. If you're driving a car, have you ever had this experience happen where you're driving and then all of a sudden you're home and you don't, like, you were like singing. How did I get there? Exactly. So that's basically your subconscious mind is running the show. It runs 95% of our physical experience. And so the subconscious mind doesn't actually understand the difference between reality and your imagination.
Right.
So that's where your conscious mind has to come in and take the wheel.
Yes.
So that's what I heard you say with that is like, if you're, telling yourself a story of I'm exploding, by the way, who says that?
Backs are exploding, I'm telling you, when people come in, or my knee is like grinding and like, and that those are real things, and I get it, and I acknowledge like the pain that you're having and experiencing, and it's not doing that. So how can we now look at it in a more practical sense? Like, look, you're up and moving, your body, like, it's just working for you. So how can we increase that awareness of like, now let's find the real problem, because typically where the pain is not the problem. Same with like, pain can be manifested just like it was in your neck, and really where it was coming from is an emotional stress. So getting back to the cause, no matter if that's from your big toe or from your brain, and like really diving in and seeing where it's coming from is key. I don't know how we got here from cheating, but
it's a holistic approach. So is there anything else that you want to share for people who are out there potentially going through this experience right now as we speak?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing that we can go through is know that you are enough, you are worthy, and someone else's choices that they made don't have a reflection on you. So can we own responsibility in saying, maybe I shouldn't have been in that relationship, maybe I was feeling down and insecure at the time that we found each other, and it just so happened to like transform into what it was, and then I didn't want to let it go because of the possibility of maybe we could work out, which is what we do a lot.
Rationalization.
So much.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to know though.
It
is hard to know sometimes.
Especially if you're an empath and you're like someone who just feels and wants to help and wants to be there for another person. You're like, how can I understand you more? How can I like be there for you more? And you don't want to just let it go. Because then you almost feel like you're failing yourself. Right. Until reality's like, hello.
Well, also, true partner, like healthy partnership requires that you show up that way.
It does.
And for yourself as well, though.
For yourself. And that's what we typically forget. We show up so much in partnership for other people, especially as an empath, that you forget to show up for yourself. So what are the signs that are screaming at you that's saying that they're demonstrating they're not going to meet you where you're at, they're not going to give you what you fully need, they're not going to be able to show up for you and give you what you're worth? And could you stand in that power and walk away powerfully before realizing that they'd been cheating on you? Like, that was my biggest lesson of like, I could have walked away sooner. And I know that my intuition, my inner knowing knew that. Yeah. But there was some kind of like, but what if, and who knows, and I'm gonna prove it kind of thing of like, that wasn't necessary.
Yeah. I had the same experience. I could have I did walk away a couple times, but I always walked right back around.
Right back in. And it's really easy to get sucked in. There is this manipulative pool that kind of puts people like that in a higher level. So it's easy to get that pull and attraction around a lot of people. And if you're like, in my experience, the person I was dating was like, doing very well, very successful, and had a lot of people who would be like, oh, you're so lucky, and look at who he is, and look at that. And it's almost like this mind trick too of like, oh, okay, maybe I am lucky, maybe I need to understand more because all these other people are seeing something that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I dated a guy who everybody loved. Like, everybody loved. Thought he was so charming, so awesome. Was just all about the right things in life. But the thing I realized after I got out of that situation and finally healed was that's because they only knew him on a surface level. Yes. They didn't know, like, they didn't see the behind the scenes. So if you're in that space right now, we have compassion for you. And I have one last question for you. Yes. Because I find that for me, having that support, giving all of my suffering and pain and trauma and all the stuff to God so that I could actually heal and move on in my life was essential. But having the support of girlfriends, especially, of my sisters, of my community, was super important to me. So what does sisterhood mean to you? I like to ask all the guests this because it's the point of this channel. You know what I mean? So
I love that. For me, sisterhood is holding space for people and making sure that you're holding them accountable at their highest. Like, you're seeing people at their best. And so if that means going into the uncomfortable and calling them out on something sometimes, which you and I do for each other,
sometimes,
like it happens, and that's okay, because you know it's a space of coming from love, of coming from, I see you so much like higher than how you're holding yourself right now, and I'm going to hold the space for you to step into that. And I'm going to hold this space to be there for you, and to have you cry, and have you yell, and have you scream, and whatever that may be, and let's laugh together, let's go out. Like sisterhood is truly holding space for someone to be them and allow them to shine at their greatest.
I love that. And thank you so much for being there for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you guys, Jen is amazing. If you're not already following her, go over to Instagram and YouTube at DocJenFit, and I will link all of her stuff down below for you if you want to check out more. She has tons of mobility, flexibility, all types of body health, mind, body, spirit, all the things, and emotions, and she's one of the best people in my life. And thank you so much for joining us today. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button so that we know. Join the conversation down below and let us know, have you ever dealt with infidelity? How did you handle it? What is coming up for you in even watching this? We would love to hear from you. We'll see you next time. Bye.